Welcome back to Let's Play the Capo 2. As you can see on the loading screen, because I was just looking at that, I was like, 15th? 15th? It's 22nd today? Man, I didn't realize, well, I did end up having 3 parts in one recording session, so yeah, that happens. So quite a bit of things have happened since then. For one, I am wearing glasses. Apparently short-sighted. It all makes sense to me now. And you know, it's just like my eyesight isn't like unbearable, just complete bad to the point where it's like I couldn't see anything. It was more my eyes felt the equivalent of a camera. Like one of those ones you have on a phone that has a slight blur and kind of, I think grain kind of look to it. It's like, from up close I can see things fairly clearly, but from a bit of a distance, everything feels a bit blurred. Like, for example, I've been playing Project Diva F on the PS3. If I, take my glasses off and look at it, there's a slight blur. If I put them on, it's picture perfect clear. And since putting on these glasses, I've cleared some songs on expert mode that I just could never do without the glasses. It's like, holy shit, I can actually see the notes properly. I was relying entirely, for the most part, on rhythm. And some of those songs are hell. But since putting on the glasses, I'm like, they're not really that bad. It's just, stamina and timing is really needed. I mean, especially on stamina, it's like, oh fuck, my arm's about to fall off. It's like, Jesus Christ, it's like, ridiculous, so yeah. Feels a bit awkward at first with glasses, though, I gotta say. I think anyone who's ever had glasses can probably relate to this. But the second I stepped out of the store after getting my glasses, I looked around and it felt like I was floating in the air, because I was so not used to seeing things so perfectly clear. It made it look like it was a panorama kind of view. It was like, what the fuck? Take them off, it's like, that looks more normal. Put them back on, it's like, what the hell, where am I? I've gained some mysterious superpower. No, you tit, you've just got better eyesight now because you got the glasses on. Oh. And it takes some getting used to, because, like, when you're walking around with the glasses on and you look down, it's like, whoa. Just, like, feel like you're just gonna slip over. Like, when I was just running across the road, well, obviously, just get across the road like that, just run, no cars coming, but at the same time, it felt like I was gonna trip over. It's like, whoa. Still not used to running yet with these on. It's quite, I don't know what else to say, really. It's just, well, at least now, maybe I'll be able to see the text better and screw up a lot less when it comes to reading. Because really, with my TV at least, I could never see the text clear enough, so I'd always have to lean forward. Now I can just lie back and actually read everything. It's nice. Actually, let's compare. Now, I don't feel as much of a difference with the laptop with the glasses on or off. I can pretty much see it fairly clearly. Well, I guess that makes sense with the whole being somewhat short-sighted and all that. I knew that all those just like remember last year, Pokemon Emerald and all that? I knew shit like that was gonna take toll on my eyes, but I didn't think how much it actually was. To the point where if you have some writing on a wall, I wouldn't be able to make out what it says. I put these on and it's very clear from even a distance. That's how different it is. So what do we do? Do you want to go to the supermarket? So where we left off, he had just recovered from whatever it was that happened. I'm still, like, trying to put things together in my mind in this, just like, so what could it mean? I saw a comment I did mentioning the car crash incident in a kind of, oh, I know what's going on, but I'm not going to tell you. Which is good, because it makes it all better. I prefer, like, not to have any of it spoiled and just, like, let my mind try to, like, uncover the plot as it progresses and see how much I figured out before the plot actually tells us. So, I'm guessing her disappearance and that crash have something in common, and that damn tree, and then it turns out none of them actually have anything in common in this case. It's just like, well, my guess was off, but that's all I've got. It's like, what reason do they have to be linked together though? I don't know. But anyway, I'm rambling. Is that okay? I see, thanks. I decided to listen to her. Anyway, it felt strange to go home with Anzu. It feels strange to go anywhere with glasses on. It would have been unthinkable just a year ago. That's not the glasses or like crappy eyesight right there. They missed out a word. The bonds of karma are mysterious indeed. Bonds of karma. Let's go. We held each other's hand naturally and went home. Anzu came back from washing dishes and put teacups on the kotatsu. She brought a plate of cookies as well. As for the tea, it was the standard black. Oh, thanks. I was lying on the sofa but sat up to drink the tea. I guess I'm feeling a lot better. I just checked and it was normal. Anzu asked as she sat next to me. I do, I'm really glad you're here. I sipped the tea. It was good. Anzu was with me. She was living with me. It felt strange. I didn't feel like it. Do you want to watch something? I grabbed the remote. I see. Anzu put her hand on my arm, and then she rested her small head against my shoulder. I won't. I don't want you to get mad at me. You know, these glasses, they enhance my vision a bit, but voice acting wise, it's still, well, obviously, the same, isn't it? Feels like we just got married or something. Anzu didn't look embarrassed as she confirmed that. Really? She said that naturally without any hesitation. In contrast, I was a bit taken aback by that. Yeah. Huh? She admits it. The bad dreams I'm talking about. Bad dreams? Well, it was pretty obvious that one dreamer, Yoshiyuki, being as dense as he always is, didn't recognize that it must be Anzu's dream all that time ago. If that's the case, it's okay, but I wouldn't be able to suppress myself if we slept together. You can never suppress yourself, can you? I mean, remember the ski trip? Remember? Well, he was able to suppress himself, but the fact that he was almost ended up doing that, with Tsugunami with her in the room, I'd imagine, like, at the end of that, just be like, Tsugunami just be like, good morning. You're like, you didn't see any of that, did you? Oh, wait, is that a camera? Oh, it's nothing. How should I say? What the? They're very blunt, aren't they? Again, she said that naturally. Huh? Anzu is very blunt. Anzu was smiling, her smile looked really happy. For some reason I felt as if I released something in Anzu's heart. For some reason, it just reminded me of Pokemon Coliseum, where you've like, I forget what it actually was. Open the door to their hearts or something like that, wasn't it? Okay. She was right, I shouldn't. Anzu would be here for a while, it's not like I had to rush. Naturally, our lips were drawn to each other's. Then the doorbell interrupted. I've got to answer that. That's okay. Anzu got up from the kotatsu. She kissed me lightly. Then she headed to the door. Yeah, feint wouldn't be good. Anzu seemed to have opened the door in the meantime. The guest remained silent. Who could it be? Anzu came back. Why the silence then? It was Otne. Why don't you let her in? That's another thing. I'm very suspicious with, you know, Otme's kind of, she's hiding something. She clearly knows more than Yoshiyuki, Yume, and all that know. She's in on whatever the hell's going on, at least to some extent is my guess. Anzu shook her head worriedly. Okay, I'll come out. I'm fine. I got up and went to the entrance. Oh, there was Otne at the entrance. Her eyes seemed somewhat dull. She seemed troubled. I'd never seen her so devastated like that before. What are you talking about? She used the same facial expression in the previous recording. Also, this isn't even the first time we've seen Otme acting a bit different to her usual self in a route, but it never gets explained. Remember, I think it was Nanaka's route, or maybe it was Minatsu's route, when she was like, I think, looking up at his window, and nothing happened of that. He's just like, oh, how strange. That scene doesn't get brought up until probably much later. What's the matter? Why don't you come in? Well, Otne silently shook her head and scowled. Otne? She looked at me seriously. Suddenly, all of a sudden she held me as if something snapped inside of her. Hey, Otne! But it was just for a moment. I felt her warmth on my chest momentarily. She pushed away my body and shook her head. Then she fell silent again. Eh? Oh, come on, it wasn't that quiet. I could even understand that, and I don't even know much Japanese. Otne whispered something, then she turned around and stepped away from the door. Hey, Otne! Otne's devastated face flashed in my head and still crap at reading. I got worried, so I opened the door. This is serious, man. Otne! But I found nobody in front of my house, just the falling cherry blossom petals. I couldn't help feeling restless. What is with your... well... At first, Sakura disappears, worries the crap out of you. Now Otne's gonna worry the crap out of you. I shook my head. It was nothing important, you know, just, she came by, she only said, I'm sorry, but he didn't even hear that because he's deaf as well, apparently, and then she ran away, quite distraught sounded a bit teary-eyed a bit, and, oh, it's nothing important, no. Though Anzu nodded, she looked at me worriedly. Let's go to sleep. Seriously. So this is actually Anzu's route. All this stuff is supposed to happen, but it really feels as if, like, you got other characters just like, Yoshiyuki, come to us. Anzu, push her away from the plot, but it's her route. No, you must focus on us. But Anzu's Ralph, no. We are trying to distract you. Ooh, why are you trying to sound like a ghost? I don't know. What's wrong? Aren't you coming? Anzu timidly slid into bed. It was comforting to be in the same bed as the girl I loved. Her warmth drove away the worries hovering around me. Her smiling face was right in front of mine. I felt her breath. That gentle touch alone made me feel relaxed. Oh, I should set the alarm. I stop killing the mood, man. Oh, I'll leave it up to you then. Ready to go to sleep? I'm turning the light off. Just a minute. How come? Can you imagine that? Your eyes open halfway from falling asleep. Oh yeah, you see two eyes staring. You're like, what are you doing? I'm watching you sleep. I know people kind of romanticize things like that, but it's a little creepy in some ways, you know? Stop staring at me like that, man. You freaking scared the crap out of me. Yeah, I'm fine. I was confident I could fall asleep no matter how bright it was. You're weird, okay? I'm going to sleep. Good night. I closed my eyes. Then my sleepiness took over. All I remembered as I drifted off to slumber was the sensation of Anzu stroking my head. I didn't have any dreams. When I didn't have my own dreams, I usually saw someone else's, but strangely that didn't happen. Yes, it was strange. It was strange and different. I couldn't explain, but it wasn't like usual. At least that's how I felt. I wished I could share the same dream with Anzu since she was here with me. What? You mean to see her dream? You already have at one point, but you're too dense to figure that out. What kind of dream was she having? What? I felt a dull impact when I regained my consciousness. Yeah. I saw Anzu mounting me in her pajamas. Whoa. Anzu? What are you doing? She smirked. Was it necessary to climb on top of me? She sounded as if she told me a secret even though it was just an ordinary thing. Yeah, you slept with me, so wouldn't it be natural? No funny business. I thought finding someone mounting me like a horse as I woke up was more amazing. Like a horse? Wherever. Now I'm just picturing him just like crawling around the floor and just Anzu's just sat on his back just like, go Hoshi! Ow, ow, my side, don't do that. Just like, well now you know how horses feel. I've never rode a horse in my life. Yeah, but screw you. Ow, ow! She laughed. I also started laughing for some reason. Ha ha ha. In a weird way. I suddenly became aware of her warmth and touch on my stomach. I felt something soft on my belly. What was that? Was her thighs, hips, and that was right. It was one of her most precious parts. God damn it! Seriously, these type of situations in these visual novels, just like, do I really have to read this stuff? Shoot, my thing might get even bigger on top of my morning wood. I should get her up before she'd realize it. Hey, can you get off? I want to get up now. Oh? Anzu became emotionless, though she was smiling just now. Anzu? She stared at me as if she was looking at something mysterious, then looked around. Anzu, can you get off me, please? Anzu? Aww. She looked and sounded confused. I'm getting a bit of a flashback to Shuffle. I don't know why, though. Perhaps it's because of, what was her name? Ishianthus, I think her name was. Yeah, maybe something similar like that. Are you joking? Will you get off? Still, she looked bewildered. She didn't look like she was acting then. As if she snapped out of it, she called my name. Wait. Back up. I'm remembering something. Also, I've never mentioned this before, but this music totally reminds me of Final Fantasy VIII. Does it remind you of Final Fantasy VIII to any of you viewers? It has that kind of sound to it. Like in those kind of moments, just like, we gotta really think and plan this thing out properly. What do you think, guys? Just like, oh, I don't know, this place looks pretty mysterious. What do you think, guys? I say we just do what we usually do. And what's that? Beat the crap out of everything that comes our way. Brilliant plan! But, anyways, back up to the point, I'm remembering Akane mentioning how different Anzu used to be in the past. Is this perhaps to do with that? Yeah, what's wrong with you? Are you kidding? What's the matter? Anzu smiled as if she was trying to change the subject. She was acting weird. I felt something unsettling. Oh. When I tried to get up, I felt dizzy. Oh, just felt dizzy. No, it's not that. I should be fine by now since I was feeling much better yesterday. The dull feeling I had was something different from yesterday. My body feels heavy. Then he's just like, oh wait, now I know why, 'cause you're still sitting on me. No. Anzu looked at me worriedly. Oh, it's not that bad. I don't know what it is. Maybe I developed a habit of clinging to you. Yeah. You know, Anzu also reminds me a bit of Primla from Shuffle as well. Anzu smiled and left my bedroom. Is it like a traditional thing for such characters or what? I walked to school with Anzu. I found Wataru, Koko, and Nanaka talking in front of the classroom. Hey. Koko noticed us and waved. About what? Wait, didn't this happen in the other routes as well? Ooh, I think it did, at least in one of the other routes. I'm not sure if it was both, though. It all starts to come together. And by that I mean I still don't understand it at all, but I'm starting to see something here. That tree is obviously very important. I think that it has something to do with Sakura in some way. I just can't quite figure it out. I could think of absurd reasons. This whole neighborhood gathering or wherever it was. Perhaps she goes into the tree and chats with a bunch of squirrels for a couple of days and then comes back to the plot at the end of the day. After all that. But that's absolutely absurd. And just silly, just for the sake of being silly. In general, I have no idea how they are linked, but there is something linking the two. I know it to be true. And if it isn't, then, well, I must have been way off. Huh? Seriously?
私はまだ見てないけど、今日はその噂で持ちきりだよ。
Sad music and cherry tree dying and all that, and look at us, just like smiles all around.
来る途中の桜並木は普通に咲いてたけど。
It's seriously, it just like, it seems like a very important plot point that doesn't get explained just yet, but everyone just kind of more or less indifferent about it, really, aren't they? I nodded in agreement with Anzu. I mean, the only one that's like, oh, that's sad, is the music. The music is like, this is a sad moment, you'll see why someday. Maybe.
枯れない桜が枯れたのに合わせるように、桜公園の桜の花も徐々に散り始めてるみたいだよ。
Was it true? Suddenly, I remembered Sakura-san's face. She's been missing after she went to the everlasting cherry tree. Well, you don't know if she went to the everlasting cherry tree, but it's as good a guess as we've got going so far. I thought they looked strange last night. Ooh. Were they related somehow?
このまま子供の頃みたく島中の桜が元に戻っちゃうのかな。
Wait, what?
せっかくの観光名所なのにね。
So there was a time where it wasn't everlasting?
でも花びらの掃除が楽になって喜ぶ人もいるんじゃねえ？
そうかもしれないけど、なんか寂しいよね。
Think of how many people lose their jobs for sweeping up all those damn things.
初音島の桜が咲いてないところなんて想像できないわね。
I wonder what it must look from, say, a plane. You just like flying over the island, just like, it's bloody pink down there, isn't it? I nodded. When Sakura-san took me into custody, the cherry trees were always blooming, so I couldn't imagine it either.
そういえば、雪村さんが初音島に来たのって桜が咲くようになってからだっけ？ええ、確か何年前だったかな。6年前だって言ってた気がする。あ、そうそう、確かそのくらい。記憶力で暗図に勝った。
Coco smiled victoriously. Wait. Coco, you're just like, yeah, I won. You're just like, I've got better memory now than you. Aren't you just like, wait, what? You can't remember? Oh? It felt odd because Anzu forgot when she moved in. And none of the characters, other than surprisingly the densest character of them all, Yoshiyuki, realized that. Oh, the first bell. Let's go inside. I tapped Wataru's shoulder. Wataru jumped in surprise.
なんだよ、吉行。いるならいるって言えよ。驚いちまったじゃねえか。
What? I was here from the beginning. I poked Wataru.
そうだった。すまんすまん。
This guy.
うん、じゃあ私、教室戻るから。うん、またね。
We waved at Nanaka and went into our classroom. Music change? No? Well, the track appears to have changed, but I was like expecting it to go into a more kind of... I forget how that music goes now, even though I've heard it so many times. How did it go? Ah, shit. It's just like, with this music playing, I just can't remember it. I'd always like to say one day. Something like that, wasn't it? I was expecting something like that to play. I mean, I know it was just a like serious scene with the music and all that, but I was expecting a sudden change. No matter how worried I was about Sakura-san or how intensely people talked about the dying cherry trees, time flowed on regardless. Even though I wasn't stable in body or mind, I still had to attend class. So that was about it for the events towards the end of the feudal era. We're moving on to modern history from our next class. The history teacher was saying something while writing something on the blackboard, but I wasn't listening. Do you ever listen, though? Everything felt surreal. what was important for me now was... I glanced at Anzu, who was sitting next to me, with the elegant face. Looking forward, Anzu was staring seriously at the blackboard.
Hey, fucking stop staring at me, you're creeping me out.
She looked like she was lost in thought rather than taking the lecture seriously. Yeah, it's all starting to make sense to me now. What Akane said about how Anzu was in the past, it seems like she's kind of reverting back to that. And with this whole talk of the cherry trees, I don't think it's a coincidence that she came to the island when the cherry trees were everlasting, and suddenly now that they're not everlasting, she's reverted. Wait, actually, that doesn't make sense. Will you back up? She arrived at the island, cherries in bloom all around, but she was like she is now, but slowly began to change at some point. So, I guess it wasn't the trees that's... I've just confused myself there. Well, maybe it was alright to space out since she had such good memory. Man, I space out all the time, man. It's both a good and bad thing. It's like, it's a bad thing because I'll be like, in the middle of a conversation, it's like, what do you say again? It's like, sorry, completely spaced out there. And then there are times where it's like, say the dentist, people are like, oh no, I have to go to the dentist, it's scary. Well, I'm just like, this is such a useful ability to have. I can just space out, just like, random thinking, this and that, and this and that. All the while, there are instruments of torture, like, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever, Now, if it was a dentist I didn't know, though, I think I'd be a little less spaced out and more, shit, I don't know about this. Most history classes concentrate on going from the ancient to modern eras, so you may not be interested in modern history. And after you move on to the main campus, you'll start again from the ancient period for Japanese history. Even if you want to study Japanese history after you graduate, most of you will get burnt out by the time you get to the modern period after you start from the ancient era. Can you imagine going from all that, just like, okay, we'll study history from as far back up to this stage. It's like, after a while it'd be like, fuck it, I'll just, screw it. History's interesting, but my god, it gets boring if you read too much of it at once. As a result, most Japanese people are knowledgeable only in ancient history and disregarding the rest. The teacher chuckled wryly. Maybe it was funny for him, but none of the students got it. The teacher was laughing by himself, but he realized it and cleared his throat. It's just like, awkward. Even though there's only a little time left before finals, there's no reason why we shouldn't still get to modern history. Hanazaki, do you know what period modern history refers to? The teacher suddenly pointed to Akane. Yes, Eto is time period in Japanese. I can't remember which it dates from, and it is pronounced like that, isn't it? I don't know much about Japanese history, honestly. Well, don't think too hard. Tell you what, Hanazaki, it's modern because it is not present. That wasn't a very tough question, though, so... The teacher looked past Akane. Shoot, is he going to pick me? No, I'm thinking he's going to pick Anzu, and Anzu's going to, like, shock the whole class by being like, I don't know. But his eye is right next to me. You can answer this, right, Yukimura? I was correct. That's right, Anzu knows everything. I felt relieved. He's not catching on that she's not being herself quite much lately. By lately, I mean like past day. Weren't you listening, please? I'll repeat. What period does the study of modern history entail? That's right. Modern, ancient, medieval, then modern. Right? What's the matter? I believe you can answer this easily. Okay, then it'll be your homework for the next class. Let's finish up for today. Class president.
起立礼ありがとうございました
Could you Suganami in there?
どうしちゃったのアンズ
After homeroom, Coco came up to Anzu as she was packing up.
何が今日はなんかずっと変じゃないそうかな変だよアンズちゃん数学の授業でも答えられなかったじゃない
That was right. It wasn't just in social studies, Anzu couldn't answer any questions in our other classes either. In contrast, I was relieved that none of the teachers picked me, because he doesn't think at all.
答えは知ってるような気がしたんだけどなんだか思い出せなくて
Just be like this, what's 2 plus 2? Yoshiki, but you pick me, 7. You stupid idiots. It's like, my brain goes when I'm put on the spot, man. Anzu seemed to feel all to herself. She tilted her head. Suganami suddenly appeared from behind. What did you say?
この杉並様の目は節穴ではないぞ。桜井の家に泊まるようになって雪村の記憶力が落ちたのなら答えは一つだ。
Now, if they had actually done it at this point, I'd totally make a joke about it, being like, he screwed her memory. Ha ha ha. Ah, that was a pretty stupid joke.
まさか
Suganami nodded.
そうなのだろう、桜井。お前たちは大人の階段を一歩登ってしまった。
大人だ
成長したな、桜井。今、お前は俺たちのはるか前を歩いている。
Suganami put his hand on my shoulder and pretended to cry. You guys...
何もかも忘れてしまうくらいにめくるめく世界へと没入していったり違いない。
Well, that's a strange way of looking at it.
馬鹿らしい
Anzu finished Suganami's joke.
相変わらずノリが悪いな、雪村は。
Suganami, this whole... you see, the music does not indicate comedy, you see, so it feels a little out of place in this situation, so yes.
今はなんだか突っ込んであげられるような気分じゃないのじゃ
With that, Anzu packed her bag. Hey, let's walk home together then.
どうして
Anzu looked perplexed. Why? Because... what?
だって私の家と義行の家は反対方向じゃない
Ooh. We all looked at each other.
義行アンズと喧嘩でもしたの
I don't think so.
知らず知らずのうちに怒らせちゃったとか
No?
何の話
Well, it all happened. Can you imagine that? Just like, wow. It felt like there was a sudden change. Out of she, pretty much, just sat on top of me on my bed and was just kind of playfully acting like she usually did. Then suddenly, I told her to get off, and then suddenly, she said, "Who am I, or who are you?" Something like that. And, from there, she just kind of acted a bit out of the ordinary for her, and you know, it's just like, forget it.
アンズちゃん義行くんだってこんなんだけどいいところもあるんだよ許してあげて
What did she mean he's not the best guy? Well, he is pretty dense, and he's not much in the way of being a bro, that's for sure. Always ditching his male friends.
許すも許さないも喧嘩してるとかじゃないのそんなことないけどね
Anzu looked over at me and I didn't understand what was going on.
では一緒に帰ってあげればいいではないか。桜井が捨てられた子犬のような目をしているぞ。
I'm not.
だからなんで私が義行と。
Anzu shut her mouth in the middle of the question. She covered her mouth as if she suddenly remembered something.
ごめん、義行、帰りましょう。
Huh?
ちょっとした冗談よ。気にしないで。なんだ、冗談か。
Was that joke? Was that English?
ごめん。
Anzu apologized and tilted her head. Anzu, did she... I suddenly got anxious when I remembered what she was like this morning. Was it possible that she'd forgotten that she'd been staying at my house?
いいから帰りましょう。
Anzu came to my side and held my arm.
うわ、まだ教室なのに大胆。それじゃあね、ここ、高根、杉並。行きましょう、義行。あずちゃん。
Anzu dragged me out of the classroom.